together. My name is Brianna Brown, and I'm a change management specialist on the services team. And also with me today is my colleague, Mike Schenk.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike. I'm a Google Cloud consultant and G Suite consultant. And over the next half hour, Brianna and I will share ways in which Meet can really empower your business processes and significantly increase collaboration.
Some of you on the call today may have joined our first session yesterday, so I apologize if this is repetitive and you've seen this before, but we'll talk a lot more about collaboration design and Worsta's collaboration design towards the end of this webinar series, when our services lead, Natalie, will come on at the end and wrap this all together. But before then, I want to talk about ways that Worsta's collaboration design can help whether your organization already has some strategic business opportunity, like adapting to a new environment or innovating in the market, maybe reducing costs, increasing collaboration, or if your business needs to solve for a specific business case, like increasing productivity and collaboration, reducing licenses, increasing your security grasp, solving shadow IT. These are the ways that Worsta can help. Our collaboration design team can partner with you to provide advisory services from the very beginning, helping you develop a strategy, run a proof of concept, defining some opportunity to maybe deploy and implement G Suite, transforming some of your business processes to really optimize some of the new tools that are out there and help you innovate and develop a roadmap to long-term innovation.
And yeah, just like Preston discussed yesterday, a lot of the legacy tools out there are really impediments to business processes today. And Google can help improve that. G Suite is not just the popular communication and productivity apps that you know and love, like Gmail, Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Drive. It really includes everything you need to have productive, high-fidelity video meetings, enterprise-grade telephony, and now even the power of Google Search for your organization with Cloud Search. Everything you need to manage your users and keep them secure is included as well. So with secure, intuitive apps that were built for the cloud from the beginning, we really see G Suite as the future, and it's helping people reimagine the way that they work. Now, historically, all these tools came included, and they still do. However, recently, Google has released a new platform, G Suite Essentials. It's a license that includes Meet video conferencing and Drive, which we could call the productivity tools. And it allows potentially for your organization to take advantage of the video, cloud storage, and collaboration tools without having to take the larger lift and shift to switch your email. At least not yet. With Essentials, you could be up and running in hours and not weeks, and taking advantage of these collaboration and work from home tools. Now, today we're going to talk about Meet specifically. This is the video conferencing tool built into G Suite, and Meet offers face-to-face video meetings to help keep teams connected while you're working from home, working remotely, working really anywhere. And we'll be taking a look at some specific aspects of Meet today around ease of use, security, and collaboration. Before we really dive into the nuts and bolts, let's just take a quick look at what Google Meet or Meet is. For those who haven't heard of Meet, simply put, it's a video conferencing tool, and probably it seems very similar to the video conferencing tools you're either using today or evaluating today for your work from home and remote needs. Meet can be used as its own standalone service, or if you use the full suite of G Suite tools, Meet integrates, and it's used with Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive to really enhance and accentuate your real-time collaboration experience and your capabilities. You can quickly launch a meeting from your Gmail inbox, add a Meet video conference to any calendar invite, and present docs, sheets, slides, or other data stored in Google Drive right on your Meet screen. I think my favorite thing about Google Meet is simply that it works. One click, you're in the meeting, you're connecting with your team, and you're already getting stuff done.
Yeah, basically we have all the pipeline we need.
Now, the ease of use and everything else, Google did not achieve that ease of use and reliability overnight. But one aspect that gives our clients a decent peace of mind is knowing that Google's been constantly developing, enhancing, improving, and ultimately simplifying the video conference experience for over a decade. Now more than ever, video conferencing is at an all-time high. There are new competitors with their bleeding edge tech coming out of the woodwork every day to capitalize on the trend, which I'd argue is probably less of a trend and more likely here to stay. What I find gives our clients confidence when using Google Meet is that Google's been doing this long before Zoom, WhatsApp, Teams, and all the others that are coming out of the woodwork today. G Suite as a platform alone cultivates a culture of collaboration for the organizations that employ it and use it. So it's no wonder that Google's been deeply invested in video conferencing for as long as they have. Video conferencing has become an even more critical component to the success of any company these days. As a testament to their commitment to seamless and easy to use video conferencing, Google made massive improvements to their Google Meet infrastructure in 2018, really to provide far better quality of service as well as more redundancy to avoid disconnects and outages. This has paid huge dividends for Google and any companies using G Suite and Google Meet, especially over the past 3 months. While we see in the news that Zoom and Teams have outages that have brought entire organizations to a standstill, Meet's infrastructure keeps humming along while they continue to add over 3 million new users daily. That's a testament to that investment in that infrastructure. Now, granted, I may have a slight Google bias, but I am biased because I've had to use a lot of other video conferencing services over the years. Google Meet delivers a simple one-click experience for end users and a secure and robust enterprise-grade solution for IT and systems admins. The past 3 months have really provided us with a heck of a use case in the form of a global pandemic. And honestly, it's been quite the stress test for the upgraded Meet infrastructure. First, we'll take a quick look at how our world and the way we work has changed. COVID-19 hit us, and very quickly, most, if not all of us, were essentially forced to work from home. This may have been maybe somewhat exciting for some, but for most, this has caused a lot of stress. It's maybe some added headaches and a little bit of panic. How do you go in a matter of a few days or even a few weeks to transition 1,000 employees to a work from home schedule? You're gearing up remote VPNs, sending employees home with company-owned hardware. All of these considerations had to be taken into account. But what made this transition easier for, I'd say, nearly all of our clients was the ability to rely on Google Meet video conferencing and its seamless integration with G Suite. By leveraging Google Meet for internal and customer-facing communications, our clients can quickly and efficiently meet face-to-face from any device and from any location. When we take a look at some of the numbers, before COVID-19, roughly 80% of US employees wanted to work from home, and at least some of the time. The reality is less than 4% actually did. Post-COVID, Global Workspace Analytics estimates that number is going to look more like 25 to 30% of the workforce. I personally believe that number may be even higher once the dust settles and we get back to some sense of normalcy. And that increase in employees working from home can also pay significant dividends to employers who are leveraging this technology to allow their employees to work remotely. So if we look at the impact on an organization's bottom line, they're saving an average of $11,000 per person simply by allowing their employees to spend just half of their time working from home. These numbers also come from Global Workspace Analytics, and they estimate that work from home initiatives will save US employers something to the tune of $30 billion a day during the COVID crisis. And B, I know you spend a lot of your time on the front lines working with our clients and end users every day. What are some of the ways that people are consolidating costs right now?
You know, Mike, that's a really great question. When people work from home, companies also have this opportunity to reduce their carbon footprint and overall utility usage, along with limiting commutes and work travel time. We're seeing more and more of our clients move to a fully remote or hybrid work environment. People are realizing I can work essentially from anywhere. They're reducing their physical footprint even, downsizing office space, and with that, seeing a significant reduction in overhead. I'm a fan of this newer trend, the hybrid approach or shift swapping, where employees in the same department will take turns working from home, say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday on a 2-week rotation. So not only does that potentially cut your office capacity requirement in half and a third, some early indications also show a significant boost in employee satisfaction thanks to a better work-life balance. So outside of the cost savings, a lot of our clients are becoming more socially responsible, more green. The fact that remote work reduces emissions from both the utility and commuting perspective is a huge win for not only the business, but also the environment. We've heard that with COVID, there's dolphins swimming where dolphins aren't usually. This is because of people working from home. So this hidden bonus is that companies are more able to procure incentives for green initiatives and becoming more lean and efficient while doing so, which is something we all like to see.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you sharing that, B. I know, we've taken a look at some of the potential needs and use cases for Google Meet, but what does Meet look like? How does it impact workflows and productivity? Again, I'm going to go back to probably my favorite thing about Meet, and that's first and foremost is the ease of use. It's just easy to join. A new meeting creates a simple, shareable URL or link for everybody to join. You don't have any plugins, downloads, or account headaches. It's just a frictionless way for everybody to meet face-to-face wherever they are in the world. In addition to that, it auto-generates dial-in phone numbers for those who may not have a Wi-Fi or mobile connection or mobile data connection. For your enterprise edition customers, each meeting is provided with a unique dial-in, so you can have a great meeting experience without Wi-Fi, without data. The numbers and pins are also auto-generated and unique for each meeting, so you get a lot more security added on that way. And it allows for large meeting size. Meet's lightweight user interface and smart participant management make hosting small or large video meetings a breeze. You can accommodate up to 250 meeting participants in a single session. And the bottom line is it just works. And the nice thing is it works across devices in the exact same way. So whether you're on an iOS or an Android, you can see all the meeting details, you can see everyone in the meeting. You're unlike some platforms, you don't feel like a second-class citizen just because you have to be on mobile for a meeting. And the nice thing is it doesn't stop there. Video meetings can be everywhere. So Meet's available on all of your devices, and it syncs across devices for a seamless experience. For conference rooms, boardrooms, or training labs that you may have set up on site, we have Google Meet kits, and they quickly scale Google Meet for the right size, venue, or team. And with our meeting room units, it's really just a click to join a scheduled meeting, enter a simple field to add the details of an unbooked meeting. It's just again, the ease of use is top notch. And most of all, it's simple, it's reliable and low cost, allowing any and every room that you would want to be enabled with Google Meet. And then booking a room is simple and it's integrated with your Google Calendar, so you're not getting double booked or anything like that. Also, context is available in the meeting. Might not seem like a huge deal to begin with, but the fact that the name of the meeting is the same as the calendar invite, right when you join the meeting, you know you're in the right place. You're not looking around for other attendants that you may recognize. And in addition to that, your content that you include in your calendar description would be available to all participants. So any docs, sheets, slides, presentations you need for the meeting, they're simply added to the calendar details, And then when you join the meeting, they're available to all meeting participants to view, reference, or even collaborate on in real time. It's also easy to set up. If you have a G Suite account, you have Google Meet. If you have Google Calendar, your meetings automatically have everything everyone needs to connect. Google Meet generates unique meeting URLs and dial-in numbers for each meeting. There's really no need to allocate dial-in numbers for people or worry about someone double booked with the same dial-in. You know you're going to have a unique and secure meeting. And then finally, last thing I'll touch on here is just the quality has come a long way. Early adopters who have been using Meet since its inception, back in the Hangouts days, they've indicated the product is more responsive, consumes less resources, and provides a much higher quality experience. Slides presented and viewed on mobile are crisp and legible, and Meet really makes better use of modern smartphone displays. Unlike other video meeting solutions out there, Meet just makes it incredibly easy to find a time to meet, schedule a meeting, attend from any device. But I know we've talked a little bit about what it does and how it works, but B, I'd love to turn it over to you now to really review Meet from an end user perspective. Could you walk us through some of the features we just talked about that make meetings easier?
Yeah, Mike, I'd love to. I'm really excited to actually show off some of the cool features that Mike just mentioned, and I'll be doing this in a live demo. Meet, before I get started, is probably my favorite tool to use within G Suite. And for those of you that haven't used it, I'm sure that you would say the same. So I'm going to open up a fake account here. It is a Game of Thrones inspired account. This is just a fun demo account here. And the first thing I'll show is Meet makes connecting with your peers easy. Mike has mentioned there's nothing to download. All you do is tap the meeting link in your email or your calendar, or if somebody chatted you a Meet link, and you're in. So I have a meeting right now that I'm not in, but I want to join, and I can click right here, join with Google Meet. You can get to Meet from any internet browser. This is Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, your mobile device app, or the dial-in option, which is represented here. So when I click Join Google Meet, before you join the meeting, you'll actually see a live preview of what you have. So you can mute any noisy backgrounds, turn your video or camera off, which I will do because I'll get distracted if I have to see it, adjust what's in the background, maybe some noisy kids, which is pretty likely since we're all home these days. And I like to call this out as something that's unique to Meet because there's some other video conferencing tools out there that just join you into the call without a chance to see what you look like, see what background noise you have. And by that, I mean, if I turn my camera on, you can actually see the background noise is moving here, just to show that when I do join, if I have this noise, that's what it will sound like. And this is definitely one added bonus to Meet that I think we can all appreciate. Now, before I join, I mentioned that, or Mike had mentioned earlier, that the calendar name will be the name of the meeting. This to me is really easy to associate on a day that I'm in back-to-back meetings and I come join and click the Meet link. I haven't even looked at the calendar event yet. Well, here I can know I'm joining our collaboration design brainstorm meeting, and I can see my other participants that are in the meeting. When I'm ready, I'll just click join. So in the meeting, I can see some of my fellow participants here, depending on how many people are in the meeting. I can see, and that's our VP of Services, Natalie. She delivered this session yesterday. I can see who's in the meeting. Obviously, Aria, or Natalie in this case, has her camera on. You can see that people also have their microphone off. So that's how actually joining the Meet will look. Now, also with Meet, screen sharing is just as easy. Meet provides two simple ways to share, or actually three. No wires required for any of this. This is from the web or your mobile phone. So in Meet, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can click Present Now. You'll be able to select whether you want to share your entire screen, a window, or just a Chrome tab. Now, the Chrome tab, this is a newer feature, really useful, and it's great for if you want to share a YouTube video or any other video or audio link on the web. One of the greatest features about Meet is the adaptive layout function. Especially with large meetings, it can be rather difficult to follow the conversation. Well, Meet will actually detect who's talking, and it will highlight that person either in the center of the screen or highlight their box so that the person who's speaking, others can see their camera or presentation on the screen. You can also customize your layout. This is a newer feature to Meet that I've thoroughly enjoyed. So if you're working from home and potentially there's a large group, maybe in a conference room, someday, a large group in a conference room, you can choose to focus on that individual room rather than a presentation slide. Unlike other video conferencing tools out there, it's really easy to control what your layout looks like. This may not sound like that big of a deal, but we've seen a lot of these really sort of newer features to Meet that what I like to call the Brady Bunch layout. It's this tiled layout that lets you see more people at once. Some of these features help increase engagement, and really for remote workers, myself included, will help us stay connected. The next feature is hugely important, especially for any companies that have a particularly diverse or globally distributed team. I think that anything that you can do to ensure that everyone is included can really make the difference between a high-performing team and a divided one. So Meet offers live closed captions, which will show captions in real time from speech to text. So all I have to do to turn them on is click Turn on Captions, and I'm going to turn my microphone on here to show how they work. I'm not going to stay up forever because it is a little distracting when I have to watch them, but simply clicking on Turn on Captions. These are such an important component of, and they should be working here. There they are. A very important piece of Meet that surrounds Google's commitment to inclusivity and accessibility, especially for those people on your team that might be deaf or hard of hearing. Live captions make it easier to follow along without requiring any special arrangements beforehand, before the meeting. So captions are really useful, and they can also help with people that are not native speakers. And maybe you're in a place with a noisy background. Again, those kids are running around in the background. Turn on captions and you can follow along with the meeting just as if your captions were off. So I'll turn them off because as they were distracting to you, they were equally distracting to me as well. Meet can work for really any type of meetings, whether it be one-on-one meetings or company all-hands meetings. Meet will seamlessly scale to accommodate meetings of all sizes. So as it stands today, Google Meet's Enterprise Edition will include up to 250 participants. This is actually a setting that is turned on for all Meet allowed any G Suite SKU to have 250 meetings through September 30th of 2020. And that is a sort of a benefit and sort of an accommodation to the times that we live in right now. You can also record meetings to watch or share later. So Meet will allow you to record the meeting simply by clicking on the 3 dots in the bottom right-hand corner of the meeting. And this is great for any participants that perhaps can't join the live meeting, or maybe you're recording something for a team to watch and learn later. All you have to do is click 3 dots and choose Record Meeting. And recordings are automatically stored in Google Drive and available shortly after the recording is complete. The other feature that's available with Meet demo, actually highlight here, if you're using Google Meet and Google Calendar for your organization, you can also add a view-only live stream event for up to 100,000 participants in your organization. So if 250 doesn't work, you have a larger number of employees at your company and you want to host an all hands, the live stream is the way to go. These can also be recorded and saved. This is great for, again, those all hands meetings, internal trainings, any events where you want to capture the same experience with people in different time zones or different availabilities. So we walked through a number of the features and functionality of Meet, and this tool truly is an enterprise-grade and enterprise-ready solution. Unlike other video meeting solutions, Meet is built to meet Google's standards of reliability and manageability. When COVID-19 led to this unprecedented time, there was an increase in the need for video conferencing usage, and Google's infrastructure allowed them to scale Meet rapidly, not just match, but also exceed the demand, and the scale has continued since, all while maintaining security and privacy and compliance for their customers. So, Mike, we've seen what Meet has to offer and how the end users can use this awesome tool. I'm going to dive now into some more security features of Meet that work in the back end and how Google ensures safe and protected meetings for you and me and everyone else that uses Meet. So it's no secret that Google has some pretty established security protocols. I'm talking specifically to those of you on the webinar that are security gurus. This is probably more of your wheelhouse. But security at Google is something that Google champions and takes a lot of pride in. If you haven't heard it because you are not on Google yet, you will hear this as soon as you are, that Google does not own your data, you do. This is the same for Meet. Google is built on top of the biggest RTC platform, that is the real-time collaboration security platform. And some of the biggest players in the cyber world are also on this platform. You probably have heard of, I don't know, Cisco or Facebook or YouTube or Microsoft. They all use that same RTC security platform. Meet is also a part of Google Cloud, which adds a number of benefits. Again, your company data is owned by you. It is not sold or processed for advertising. And as a customer of G Suite or Google Cloud, you will get a single and easy to digest view of Meet settings. This is helpful to manage access and users and devices and a whole lot more. So, fun fact for everybody, Mike had mentioned earlier, and probably something that we all know, Zoom has experienced a few hijacking instances, and from a security standpoint is extremely unsafe and potentially very risky for some really sensitive company data being leaked. So among organizations that use Google security keys, there have been 0 reported or detecting hijacking attempts in Meet. And that is incredible. And this is because of the advanced security measures that Google has taken and continues to take. So a few bullet points here for some detail on security. So before this, Google Cloud is trusted by millions of businesses to protect its customers' user and data privacy. So some key security features, again, this is not all of them, there are a number more than this, but a few key ones include what you see here. Video meetings and cloud recordings encrypted by default. So the data in Meet is encrypted between you as the customer and Google. And if you want to record a meeting, the recording is then stored in Google Drive and encrypted at rest in Drive. Proactive counter abuse protections to help keep meetings safe. There are a number of anti-hijacking measures taken for both web and dial-in meetings. You can securely deploy and manage Meet users and data. Again, there's no additional software needed to join Meet. Helping with your compliance requirements, Google offers rigorous independent verifications of security, privacy, and compliance controls. And there is a stringent process for managing data and security incidents. And this is a key aspect of Google's overall security and privacy program. This process specifies any actions, escalations, or notifications of any potential incidents impacting the confidentiality of your data.
Excellent. Thank you so much, B, for taking us through the security aspect. I'm sure any CISOs or IT admins who are in attendance, that was probably very enlightening for them. What I want to touch on is, more for the end users, and we're talking about consistent quality and reliability. And Google Meet provides consistent quality and reliability, but again, what's that really mean for your sales team, for your frontline workers, basically anyone who's not in IT? Really, to me, what it means is that no matter what device you join from, the experience is consistent. You're going to get the same controls and functions every time, regardless of how or where you access your video meeting. As for reliability, 99.9% uptime, it really has a nice ring to it. And as we've discussed, Meet is built on Google's resilient, scalable, and global infrastructure. So how's that really affect your organization? Well, with Google Meet's infrastructure and the redundancy built into it, it allows for performance upgrades, new features, and bug fixes without any downtime for customers. So just a quick example, when Google rolled out the grid or the Brady Bunch view that B mentioned earlier, there was no downtime, there was no interruption of service. You simply had to refresh your browser or simply open a new one, and the new view feature was available and you could implement it. On top of that, all of your network traffic is encrypted by default, so it keeps your meetings secure, and that's certainly a good thing. And Google makes it easy for the IT admins. We don't want to leave them out by any means. And they do this by empowering them with comprehensive management tools for Google Meet. So there's the Google Meet quality tool that allows your IT team to quickly identify, understand, and troubleshoot Google Meet. And with the Google Meet activity logs, you get a really high-level overview of your company's Google Meet usage, meeting attendance, and more. And with Meet, onboarding's easy. Anyone can create and join meetings, and you're not limited by host accounts like certain other software. And finally, admins can easily recognize Meet traffic, tag it appropriately so that they know that their traffic is secure, and they can also enable separate rules for Meet traffic, G Suite traffic, or consumer traffic.
Great, thanks, Mike. So we're wrapping up here, and apologize for going a little bit over time, but I do want to point out some really helpful resources in answering the question. So how do you deploy Meet? How do you deploy G Suite to your organization? Well, that's where Worcester can help. When COVID-19 hit, within a matter of a few very short days, we worked really hard and created a Google site to host a number of free, I said free, yes, resources to support not only our customers, but also our non-customers. So if you're on this call right now wondering if Worcester is for you, maybe this can influence you. You can check out our site at goremote.worcester.com to find some quick links on the following here. Additionally, we have a few more webinars if you want to sign up for any of the other webinars that we have here. This will really sort of shift gears and look at what else Google Cloud has to offer, how Worcester's collaboration design team can help you engage and also deploy all of the G Suite in your organization, G Suite Essentials, Google Drive Enterprise, whatever it may be, whatever fits your organization the best. So feel free to sign up for these additional webinars here, and we look forward to potentially partnering with you in the future. Thank you, everybody, and we will open up the floor for questions.
And B, it looks like I do see a question here. Are there any new features coming to Google Meet in the near term?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking that, whoever did. The answer is yes. Google is very often and very frequently updating some of their features across all of G Suite, but Meet specifically, the latest on the roadmap is that there will be noise canceling coming. So again, if you do have those kids in the background, some availability for noise canceling, and then also some background blur to make your time in the meeting and your colleagues all the more enjoyable. I just
Excellent.
saw another question here. If one of our clients does not use Google, would they have to download any special extension to access the meeting? That is a really great question. We spent the whole time saying you don't need to download anything. It's easy to use. It's also easy to use for whoever is joining. So no, your clients do not need to be on Google. Say they are a full Office 365 shop. If you sent them a calendar invite, they would see the joining details to join Google Meet, and all they would have to do is click the link to join the Google Meet, and it will open in their preferred browser, whatever they've set up, and they'll see that same default screen, the option to turn off your microphone and camera before you join, the name of the meeting, and if anybody else is in the meeting. That's a really great question.
Yeah, that accentuates the ease of use of Meet too. Oh, I see one more that came in. How much does Google Meet cost? I can take that one. That's a great question. As of right now, you can get standalone Google Meet for free till September 30th, just to help sort of bridge the gap, get you working remote, get you accustomed to working remote, and then to see if it's the tool for your organization. Now, also Google Meet is included with all versions of G Suite. So the basic version of G Suite starts at $6 per user, and then it increases from there just depending on the needs of your organization. And we'll hold to see if any other questions come in.
Thanks for joining today, everybody. A version of this recording will be sent out after. And again, we encourage you to sign up for any additional webinars. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of the week.